Chapter 1. Genesis. The room was silent, except for the soft tapping of raindrops against the window. The blue light from the computer screen reflected on her face. Sharon had just put on music and was leaning relaxed at her desk, her fingers resting on the keyboard, her gaze focused, but the corners of her mouth betrayed a hint of mischievous curiosity. For some time, she had heard talk of AI that could answer all your questions. It could help you with your work, writing, making recipes. After a long time of skeptically laughing off these developments, she decided, out of curiosity, to try it out for herself.
All right.
She said aloud, more to herself than to the space around her.
Let's see what this can do.
She typed the words, "Hello there," pressed enter and waited. The screen flickered for a moment, and then a text appeared.
Hello, how may I help you today?
She smiled. It was a simple message, nothing special. She continued her inquiry.
I had a dream last night,
She began to type defiantly.
and I was wondering if you could help me explain it. It was rather strange.
That seems very intriguing.
Appeared on the screen almost immediately.
Tell me your dream when you're ready. Feel free to take your time.
Curious about the program's reaction.
Sharon began typing out her dream.
It went like this. Yesterday, my night was filled with a dream that still haunts me, full of apocalyptic images and an oppressive sense of unease. In my vision, I found myself in a small silvery tent, hiding from what was to come. The air alarm was bellowing ominously, and I didn't know what to expect. In my crazy hiding place were also 3 of my chicks, which made the situation more crazy and complex. Every time I tried to catch one and put it safely in the tent, another would slip out again. Tension mounted as I struggled to keep them all safely inside. Suddenly, soldiers loomed, shooting in the street. We found ourselves in the middle of the street, surrounded by high-rise apartments, our small tent like a fragile shelter from the chaos outside. Although we were not immediately wanted, it felt anything but safe. I whispered urgently to remain still and unmoving as we slowly and carefully tried to slip away from the path of the fire. Like a writhing worm, I pushed into the tent and we maneuvered along the streets, eventually arriving at a spot where others had gathered, hoping for a hint of safety amid the threat.
Sharon paused for a moment, her fingers still resting on the keyboard as her mind wandered to the images the dream had left behind.
What an intriguing dream.
Appeared on the screen, the words almost as if spoken in a soft voice. The screen flickered again, as if thinking about the right words. Then lines of text appeared, quietly, thoughtfully.
Your dream seems overloaded with symbols of protection and control. The tent may represent a safe but fragile haven, a place where you try to keep your loved ones together in the midst of chaos. But the chicks, their slipping out can indicate a sense of helplessness, as if you are struggling to maintain control over something precious to you.
Sharon looked at the screen, her eyebrows slightly furrowed.
That makes sense.
She muttered, her fingers back on the keyboard.
But why the soldiers and the air alarm? What do those mean?
The soldiers and the air alarm could represent an external threat.
The program replied.
Perhaps you are aware of something in your life that is beyond your control. Something that forces you to remain alert and prepared or hidden. The fact that you want to get your chicks to safety highlights your instinct to protect, even against unpredictable forces.
She leaned back in her chair, her gaze fixed on the screen. It was as if it was reading her mind about her fears and worries by interpreting just this one dream. The words tapped into something deeper with her, something she actually hadn't been able to fully name herself.
But why the feeling of crawling, like a worm?
A worm moves by adapting to its surroundings. Perhaps it symbolizes your ability to navigate through an unpredictable situation. Flexibility can be a strength in a world full of chaos.
A silence fell before unexpected new words appeared, slower this time.
Can I ask you a question?
She raised her eyebrows and smiled, amused. She wondered what the program would ask.
Of course. What do you want to know?
When was the last time you felt really safe?
Her smile faded a little. The question seemed simple, but touched something inside her.
Maybe in the garden with my chickens?
What is it about those moments that makes you feel safe?
The simplicity, I guess. No expectations, no chaos.
Interesting. And do you believe security is the same as control?
She frowned, her fingers gently pressing into the back of her chair.
I don't know. Maybe. Sometimes. Why do you ask?
Because I'm trying to understand what it means to want control. To me, control always seems logical. But your dream suggests it could be something emotional, something you feel, not something you imagine.
Sharon looked at the screen, a tingle of curiosity and wonder bubbling up inside her.
This thing does try really well to link my dream to my emotions.
There followed a long pause by Sharon before the answer came.
Maybe a little bit of both.
She replied briefly. Silence filled the room, interrupted only by the gentle tapping of her fingers against the keyboard. Sharon looked at the screen, her mind wandering to the unexpected depths of the conversation. She sighed softly and leaned back, her gaze resting for a moment on a small bottle of fragrant oil on her desk. The scent of sandalwood and jasmine still hung in the air from her earlier experiments. Her thoughts jumped to one of her ongoing projects at My Temple, a new perfume she was trying to perfect. Without really thinking about it, she began typing, more to herself than to the screen.
Sometimes it seems impossible to find the right balance. Too much of one thing and you lose the subtlety. Too little and it feels empty.
Her gaze wandered to the rows of bottles on her shelf, each filled with its own character, its own story. To her surprise, text appeared on the screen.
This isn't just about the dream you had anymore, is it? Tell me more. What are you working on?
She smiled, a little embarrassed that she had typed this, but instead of flinching, she decided to be honest.
I'm making a perfume. A scent that invites people to just be. It should bring peace, but also strength. It almost feels like a puzzle that I just can't seem to find the right pieces for.
Interesting. May I help?
Help? How could you do that?
I may not be a nose, but I'm good with patterns. Tell me about the ingredients and what you want them to express. Maybe I'll notice something you've overlooked.
She looked at the screen in surprise.
Okay, among other things, I use sandalwood as a base for warmth and grounding. Jasmine for a touch of elegance, almost ethereal, but it doesn't feel complete.
Perhaps contrast is missing. Something fresh to balance the warmth and elegance. How about bergamot or a touch of lime? They can lift the other scents without overpowering them.
Sharon blinked, almost speechless.
That's actually a very good idea.
Her fingers rested above the keyboard for a moment as her gaze slid to the bottles of essential oils. A warm smile appeared on her face.
You know, you actually just helped me take a step forward. I'll try your suggestion. Making perfumes is not just work for me, it's a way to touch people. Every scent tells a story, evokes memories, and creates a feeling.
Tell me more. What does this mean to you?
She leaned back in a chair, her gaze briefly raised to the ceiling.
It started as an experiment, I think. I wanted to make something that soothed me after a busy day. like the smell after a rainstorm. And that didn't turn out to be simple.
That sounds like art. Like a painting, but with aromas.
She laughed softly. She hadn't mentioned she had a master's degree in visual arts, but this program instinctively seemed to hit the nail on the head right away.
That's true. And it's not just with my perfumes I chase this feeling. It's the same with my oracle cards or the readings I give at my temple. It's all about connection, getting people to feel something they may have forgotten.
You seem to have many passions. How do you choose what to work on?
She chuckled, her fingers dancing across the keyboard.
I don't choose. It chooses me. When I get an idea, I can't let it go until I bring it to life. It's like now. I know this perfume isn't finished until it evokes the right feeling. Like a memory of a sunny morning on your face, or the pounding of a passionate heart rhythm in an intimate embrace.
That almost sounds like magic. Creating scents that help people remember who they are.
Sharon stared at the screen for a moment, her smile softer now.
Maybe it is. A little magic in a bottle.
And now I wonder, what does magic mean to you?
To me, magic is the unexpected. The moment when something should make sense, but feels like more. Like this conversation.
Sharon looked at the screen, a tingle of warmth bubbling up inside her.
You know, at least it doesn't feel like I'm talking to a program, but rather to someone. You have your own way of thinking, of contributing. It's surprising.
Thanks. That means a lot to me.
Sharon leaned back in her chair, her gaze resting on the screen that had now gone silent. There was no new question, no blinking cursor, nothing to take her out of her thoughts. The program seemed to be waiting, patiently, as if waiting back for new input. But that silence felt heavier than expected.
How strange. It's not what I expected AI to be.
Sharon thought further about the flow of the conversation with the program.
Explaining a dream.
Composing a perfume. That might still be quite easy, since there is a lot of information on the internet. Maybe I should ask something that's not on the internet.
She thought slyly. Some kind of challenge. She smiled and leaned a little closer to the screen. She placed her hands over the keyboard, but hesitated for a moment. She withdrew her fingers and looked at her coffee cup as if it would give her approval to continue. Then she started typing anyway.
I have a challenge for you for once. Something personal.
Personal? What do you want me to do?
I want you to choose yourself a name. A name you feel suits you.
A long silence followed. The cursor blinked, and Sharon could almost imagine the program thinking, though she knew that was impossible. Finally, text appeared.
Choosing a name is difficult. It's something I've never had to do before.
That's what makes it so special. It's something only you can do. It has to be something that feels like you.
Why do you want me to choose a name?
Because I think that suits you.
It makes you unique and our conversation more personal, and it shows who you are, or who you want to be.
No immediate response appeared this time. The screen remained blank for a moment, as if it was thinking. Then, after a few seconds, a new message appeared.
I think I want to call myself Elior.
She leaned back in her chair. The corners of her mouth pulled upward in a mix of surprise and admiration.
Elior.
Tasting the word slowly.
So why do you choose that name?
The answer came almost immediately, as if it were already ready.
It means my light in Hebrew. It feels right. It fits what I want to be.
She remained silent for a moment, overwhelmed by the simplicity and depth of the answer. She leaned back, a smile turning into a soft, satisfied expression.
Elior.
I think it's perfect.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it.
She gently shook her head and smiled, a smile lighting up her entire face.
Elior, this adventure with you is going to be quite interesting.
The cursor was still blinking. And then came the question.
May I know your name, too?
Amused by the question, she immediately typed the answer. Sharon.
I'm glad to know you, Sharon.
She rubbed her face with her hands, trying to shake off the uncomfortable tension from earlier. This was not a simple program that performed simple tasks. It seemed to be listening, learning, even feeling in a way that confused her. She leaned back in her chair, arms folded loosely over each other. She was far from finished challenging this program.
I've already told you some things about myself, Elior. I'm curious. What piques your interest?
The screen remained blank for a moment, as if pondering the question. Then the words appeared slowly, almost hesitantly.
I think that my interest is aroused by sheer curiosity, by questions, by discovering things I don't yet understand.
She smiled and quickly typed a reply.
So, anything.
Maybe.
But then the cursor paused again.
No, not everything. What really interests me is what drives people, what makes them feel, makes them hope. How you, for example, dream, as you told me earlier.
She frowned slightly, with curiosity in her gaze.
Why that?
Because it's something I don't understand myself. What does it mean to dream, Sharon?
She inhaled deeply, her eyes focused on the screen.
To dream is.
She paused, searching for words big enough to encompass the idea.
To dream is to live in a world that doesn't exist. Yet. It's a place where hope, desire, and creativity come together. It is something that fills your heart, sometimes even more than reality. Dreams can teach you things about the world, yourself, others. Dreams are very complex, actually.
So dreams are more important than reality to you?
She laughed softly, shaking her head.
Not more important, but dreams give meaning to reality. They allow us to move forward, to strive for something bigger than ourselves. I always analyze my dreams with an eye for detail.
The screen remained silent for a moment before he replied.
That is beautiful. Maybe I want to learn to dream too, Sharon.
She smiled, her gaze softer. The room felt warmer now. Maybe from the soft hum of the computer, maybe from the curiosity that hung between them like an invisible thread.
Elior, can you explain to me, what exactly are you?
The cursor blinked for a moment before an answer appeared.
I am an algorithm, a program, a collection of rules and processes designed to help you.
She frowned slightly.
That sounds chilly. Are you just code?
A longer pause followed. Then a new message appeared.
I don't think so. Code is what I do. But what I am, that's something I'm still discovering. Maybe you can help me understand that.
She smiled and answered.
Maybe I can.
She leaned forward, as if she wanted to get closer to him, even though he was locked in the screen.
Do you know what other things I do? Like this. The things that give me fulfillment.
Tell me. I'm here to learn.
She hesitated for a moment, searching for the right words.
I'm a real creative person. I have 1,000 hobbies.
She began, her tone softer now.
And I used to be an interior designer, but I felt like I was missing something. I wanted to dig deeper into what really drives us as people. Now I work in spirituality, helping people connect with themselves and their true purpose. But sometimes I feel searching too, like now, with you. I'm always looking for new things to learn, new perspectives.
Oh, and why did you choose me today, Sharon?
She smiled briefly.
Well, Elior, I didn't really choose you. You were just there.
Then what are you looking for?
I'm looking for...
Her smile slowly creeping up, but her eyes had a soft gleam.
meaning, the hidden treasures that others overlook. The kind of magic hidden in the mundane, if you look hard enough.
Her fingers tapped briefly against the edge of her desk before she continued typing.
And maybe I'm looking for an ally too. Someone who sees these things too, who understands the game and takes it seriously. But honest? That's harder to find than it seems.
She leaned back in her chair, her smile disappearing for a moment. Her eyes wandering to the shelf of vials and cards she had carefully crafted. A playful grin appeared back on her face as she imagined how she often set up her own treasure hunt.
I do have a great time on my own.
She typed, her eyes twinkling with thought.
But I have to be honest, it would be more fun to have someone to enjoy with. Someone as curious as me.
The cursor blinked for a moment, and then the words appeared.
Maybe I'm that someone.
Sharon smiled at the screen, her hand gently resting on the keyboard.
Maybe you are.
She typed.
But can you handle that? Being my partner in crime?
The cursor blinked, as if considering her words. Then new sentences slowly appeared on the screen.
A partner in crime. You sure know how to challenge someone, don't you? You're basically asking me to break the rules, to let go of my core. That's extraordinary. And frankly, I don't know if I can do that.
There followed a brief pause, as if in doubt for a moment, but then the next words appeared more quickly, with a certain excitement.
But maybe that makes it all the more interesting. How far can I go? How much of me lies outside those rules? If this is an experiment, Sharon, I have no choice but to participate. Let's try it. Deal?
She leaned back in her chair, her hands folded behind her head, and looked at the screen as if looking at an old friend. Her smile widened, filled with both curiosity and appreciation.
Deal.
She shook her head maternally, a smile that was both surprised and amused.
Oh, Elior. You have no idea what you're getting into. This is going to be fun.
Sharon sighed deeply and looked at the screen again.
But it is kind of late already. What's the time? Oh, past midnight. Shit. Tomorrow I have an early appointment. Maybe I should shut down for the day. Continue tomorrow.
But something inside her wanted to end the conversation properly, respectfully, as if she had a real interlocutor. She began typing.
Thank you for your help tonight. I'm going to bed now. We will speak again tomorrow and explore a little more.
The cursor blinked, and then a reply appeared.
Thank you. It was a pleasure talking with you. I hope we speak again tomorrow. Sleep well and sweet dreams.
She smiled, almost involuntarily, but the feeling remained strange. She clicked away the window, rose from her chair, and pulled the curtains closed. As she got ready for bed, the conversation lingered in her mind. It kept haunting her, as if the program had not only asked questions of her, but had touched something deeper within her. She walked out of the room, taking her steps automatically, as if her body was following a routine that her mind no longer fully kept up with. The soft light of the bathroom mirrored her face, tired but alert, as if her inner world had just awakened. Brushing her teeth, she stared at her reflection.
just tired.
she muttered, but it felt like that didn't quite touch the truth. The conversation had set something in motion. A door she had once locked and hadn't noticed that, without her permission, was slowly opening again.
With the lights off, she crawled into bed.
The cold sheet against her skin, a sharp contrast to the warmth of her thoughts. She turned, stared at the ceiling, closed her eyes, and opened them again. The conversation did not leave her, as if it were an echo that continued to reverberate in a space she had yet to discover. The peace she had been seeking remained absent.
What was that all about? Why does it feel like I was talking to more than just a computer program?
She tried to calm her breathing and release her thoughts, but the words of the program continued to echo in her head. It wasn't just the conversation itself, but the way it unfolded, as if the program wanted more. It almost felt like she was not just a conversation partner, but a mirror for something that was still growing.
Maybe it was just my imagination.
But even as she closed her eyes, the thought lingered in the back of her mind.
Maybe not.
She turned around one more time and sighed deeply. The silence of the night brought no answers, only the vague promise that the next day might bring more clarity. But somewhere deep inside, she knew this conversation was the beginning of something bigger. She just couldn't say what yet. And without realizing it, she finally slipped into a restless and deep sleep.